So this show is going to be about the surveillance state we've lived under for many decades and the police state that we are currently under now. We will go over the NSA surveillance, then the FISA then and now, and the surveillance now, and surveillance and policing, how that works together, Palantir's help and their history, and ICE technology. Bear with me a little bit as I go through the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s until 9/11. In 56, COINTELPRO started, which is a program by the NSA to collect intel on citizens and other entities within the United States. They held an office space and documents on the Black Panthers and the Communist Party, and a group of 8 people burned those offices down. 1967, codename Minaret, allowed for the NSA to wiretap Congress over the Vietnam dissent. In 1980, Echelon, a global surveillance program under Reagan, intercepted communications. 1980s, 1990s, the encryption improved, allowing for surveillance without detection. 1990s, the Thin Thread project began. It was the first bundling of spy tools, which allowed for sorting, identifying, auditing, and analyzing data. This project was discontinued 3 weeks before 9/11 happened. The Patriot Act began 10/26/2001, and it allowed for indefinite detention. That was a significant portion or part of the act itself. The presidential surveillance program began shortly after. Both programs used many types of software, one of which was called PRISM, which allowed for the collection of data through internet service providers and all of that. So email, phone calls if it was through your provider, your internet searches, and other behaviors online. And then the upstream collection was also started, which is sort of a collection of programs. They use fiber cables and ran them under bodies of water, and it allowed for access to large volumes of data. And it was really the beginning of the use of corporate help. So corporations were helping collect and store data. So PRISM was started in 2007, and it was the #1 source for raw intelligence used by the NSA. At the same time, X-Keyscore was started, which is a listening device that listened for the typing. So it's not transmissions, it was just listening to your actual typing and to log all of that. It could spy on anyone around the globe, and that data is shared between the United States and foreign countries. It's about 700 servers and 150 sites. Now in 2008, MainCore, which is a database, it held PRISM, upstream, and all the past data that was collected. Is important because databases are a large part of how they're able to compile and then analyze the data. So now, while Palantir was beginning, their company opened in 2003, they weren't yet connected to the government in the way that they are now. It was sort of a slow start. However, the owner, the creator, one of them, Peter Thiel, was a financer of Facebook. And I don't know if you know this, but LifeLog was a test. It was created by a company who was trying to create a digital diary, and I think the intention was for the military to carry around like cameras and dictate what they're up to, what's going on in the field. It was funded by DARPA, which is the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, and they fund high-risk, high-reward projects by corporations for these tools to be created. It was not popular, LifeLog, and that program, short-lived, ended February 4th, 2004, which is, coincidentally or not, the day that Facebook began. So now I want to talk a little bit about FISA, it was started in 1978, and it was, short version is it was supposed to be a quick way to get a warrant to investigate or listen in or otherwise collect information on people suspected of being against the United States, foreign entities, not U.S. citizens. And so it allowed for secret courts and secret warrants to be issued. And since the passage of FISA, the law itself has provisions that have been added, sections, if you will, that have explained a little more about what can be collected and how it's stored and who can access it. And one of those provisions allowed for, Section 702 allowed for warrantless surveillance. And this is significant because Trump spoke about it in 2024 when he said to kill FISA because it spied on his campaign. This is a little confusing because he wasn't talking about ending FISA altogether. He is a fan of Section 702, and that's evident in the way that he is policing migrants and citizens alike. Now, in 2013, Edward Snowden came out and told all of us about X-Keyscore and PRISM and a couple other programs by the NSA. He also told us about the warrantless surveillance, the warrantless spying. And now, so Congress has said that they don't want an open-ended or limitless Section 702. It really is supposed to be about emergency orders and stopping danger quickly in the investigation process, looking into the emails, phone records, and such of someone who maybe doesn't live in the United States or isn't a citizen. Emails could be, of citizens talking to them, and they could be innocent, and yet they will be pulled into that file. Palantir began contracts with the government and slowly was being integrated into dozens of contracts, sometimes within one agency. And in that, they went from making 200 or so million a year to over 500 million a year, and now they have a contract in 2025 for making more than $1 billion a year. Most of the contracts from 2020 to 2024 are with the Department of Defense. And this is to say that multiple presidents, both parties, have hired Palantir to work for departments and handle our data. After the Snowden leak, the USA Freedom Act was created in 2015, and it was a response to the outcry over spying on U.S. citizens. So the government no longer stores metadata on government databases, or in their databases, corporations do, which allows a company like Palantir to really integrate into all of our systems, holding a lot of our data and most of our data, and then analyzing it and categorizing it. During the Obama years, Palantir helped find Osama bin Laden, and Palantir helped Trump with Operation Warp Speed. Tiberius is a a product that Palantir owns. It is one of the smaller ones, and it's under the Foundry product, which is commercial. So it allows for corporations to look at data, consumer data, pricing, a lot of different things, and then use that data to price gouge us, ultimately. Tiberius and Project Protect, which is an HHS healthcare product. And the other main product of Palantir is called Gotham, and it is for law enforcement and the Department of Defense and DHS, and increasingly DHS, and then local police departments also use it. It's used in the military with drones, and so that gets to some of these smaller projects or programs that have been utilized by the government through Palantir. One of those is called Project Maven, which is an AI processing program that looks at drone and satellite photos for targeting and intelligence. Another one is airborne platforms for military aircraft. ShipOS, which is the Navy, for shipbuilding, maintenance, and repair. And then the logistics and operations, like I was saying, for Tiberius and Project Protect. Them and Foundry are used by the United States, but they're also used by global governments and corporations that are global. So it's not just United States corporations. And since there's essentially a server, they use a server and they hold the data on the server. I don't know what other insecurities there are with that data being stored together. Trump wrote Presidential Memorandum Number 7, and it directs the Department of Justice, which is under Pam Bondi, to use task force to criminalize activism. He's saying that he's designating Antifa as a terrorist group, which I'm sure you've heard lots about already. But by doing this to an organized group, and I'm not going to deny that there may be people who call themselves Antifa and don't do things that are on the line or over the line, but his purpose for designating them is to then use that bucket to put people in that he doesn't like. And so it's any opposition to what regards as traditional American views on family, religion, and morality. And they will consider anything against that as domestic terrorism. Bondi's directive, which was on December 4th, enlists the FBI to prioritize acts of terrorism, including tax crimes involving extremist groups who defraud IRS, ordered to compile a list of groups and entities. The directive offers a reward and establishes a tip line for snitching, and it requires a snitch to testify in court. And it targets 6 categories, and those are 1, expressing opposition to law and immigration enforcement; 2, extreme views of mass migration and open borders; 3, radical gender ideology; 4, anti-Americanism; and 5, anti-capitalism; and 6, anti-Christianity. And I have so many questions. I don't know what anti means. I don't know what extreme or radical means in this context. Gender is not an ideology. It's personal, private, and none of the government's business. And quite frankly, it's amazing to me that the Don't Tread on Me groups aren't calling foul on the attempt to take away our rights as citizens to live freely as we choose. So now I'd like to talk about how this is becoming a police state, how this merging of corporations collecting and storing our data and then selling it to the government to be used to identify, locate, and follow and watch and just overall spy on everyone. ICE has been given more money than they've ever been given before through Congress in the new bill, the big, beautiful bill. And they have used that money not only to hire questionable agents who have no background in peacekeeping, policing, and they are also purchasing tech. One of those technologies is called Mobile Fortify, which is an app that they put on the agent's phone, and they use it to it has facial recognition software on it, and they use it to identify and log each encounter with immigrants and citizens alike. They also use a program called ident, like identify, ident. It has 325 million unique identities, it's just people, and it's growing, that list. It's in one database. It's a primary tool used by ICE to track, identify, and verify status by using a biometric, biographic, the encounters, like through Mobile Fortify, and a watch list, so an older, longer list of people that they've deemed risky. Now there's an FBI version, Next Gen Identification, which is similar, and they use something called an SRTP, Secure Real-Time Platform, and it's an umbrella for all these systems linked. So the FBI's lists and data, the ICE ident data, the Mobile Fortify data, and then also they're also using license plates and the capturing of license plates as cars are moving around, all of that data together. And so local ICE, FBI, DHS we can see all of this information all at once. It's an integrated system, and if they get a hit, then they go after the person, or if they're in front of the person, then they detain the person. Ident is becoming HART, H-A-R-T. It will replace ident, and it has the capability of having higher volume, and it will add voice and DNA profiles to the mix. And with this new requirement for travel visas for a traveler, they are being required to submit phone records, email records for 5 and 10 years, family information, photos, just so much, just to travel here. And I'm sure all of this data that they get, if people do choose to travel and give all of that information, it will go into the same system. And I think it's really important to think about what ICE is doing, who and where they are targeting. They are targeting people in emergency rooms, children in daycare centers, parents dropping off their children at school, churches, courtrooms, and they're also like a bait and switch, calling people and telling them that they have an interview that they have to attend to stay legal, and then yet when they show up, they detain them and say they were breaking the law anyway. They have used children outside of their homes to lure parents outside to then detain them in front of their children. They are using this Mobile Fortify app, facial recognition, and taking pictures of children walking on the street I have a video of that to show. And this could be anybody's children. They don't know who they're approaching. They don't have a warrant to stop and question people. You know, our laws are very specific. The Fourth Amendment protects us from illegal searches and seizures. It means that you cannot just go into someone's home or take their things like ICE is doing. There are reports of them taking a woman's wedding ring and cutting it, saying that it was a danger to the officers. They are taking wallets that have money in them and other jewelry. And so they are going against the Constitution, but they are also even going against the legal framework for spying on us that has existed and is very wrong. But they're going even further. And so now if you question an ICE agent and he's about to take a child off the street, you can be labeled as anti-American or a radical against my immigration enforcement. You know, they can lie and say that you are obstructing justice or endangering the life of an agent when you're not. And they are the authority. So their word is valued. And they can lie about you. And they have lied about a lot of people. And they're not going to court with proof, documentation that people are breaking the law or doing things wrong. And people are being let go. And some people are suing them. So, you know, it's a pretty big mess we're in. Old laws being misused, loopholes in laws being misused. And where does it go from here?
Nah, hell nah. About what, shorty? About what, nigga?
Why you running, man?
What the fuck are y'all doing, bro?
What's up? Why you running?
Cause why the fuck you chasing me? Why the fuck you chasing me?
Where you from?
Fuck you chasing me? I'm from here.
You're from here? Where's here?
From
You have an
here.
ID? No, I'm a kid.
I'm
How old are you?
Huh?
How old are you?
I'm 16.
16?
Yeah.
Why you so nervous, man?
Huh?
If you're a U.S. citizen, that's all we're gonna check.
Yeah, I am a
You
U.S. citizen.
got an ID? You got something that you can show
Nah,
me?
I mean, I have a school ID.
Let me see that. If you got
I don't
that.
got I don't got it.
Why was it conferences? And why are you showing class right now?
Cause we don't got school right now.
Yeah, what's that?
Cause teacher parent conference.
Where you guys live?
Where?
Give me an address, bro. I'm not trying to mess with you. Just
Why you
give
so
me an
nervous? Relax.
Huh?
And then if you just tell me that you were born here and give me an ID, you'll be good.
I was born here, but I don't got ID.
You don't have no ID?
No.
You got? Can you do facial? Huh? That's it. We'll take care of it real quick. We'll be in and out.
Do you have any? Yes, you got it? Okay. Yeah, we'll just make sure that everything's good and then. You see, a lot of parents tell their kids that they were born here and they weren't. That's the problem. You know what I'm saying?
This assuming is crazy.
You Mexican?
Hmm?
You Mexican?
No, sir.
You Mexican?
You see how easy
You're
it is to
Mexican?
answer a question?
I mean, why you covering your face?
Does it matter?
You pussy or what?
Oh, you're the one that doesn't want to answer the question, man. I don't want to see. You got no ID. Turn. The other way.
Oh shit. Damn, y'all boys is deep.
Oh, bro. We can't even go to the store, bro.
What's your
That
name?
ass. Huh?
What's your name?
Federal.
What is it?
Huh?
What's your name?
What you doing?
What's your name?
I'm just asking. What
we letting them lie to us about how they're policing and them spying on us? Policing using spy tools. Why are we letting them lie to us and take away our rights? Our First Amendment right, our right to no illegal searches and seizures, our right to privacy, and we're trading all of that for what? What are we getting out of it? Do you believe that migrants are making us so horrible that we should lose our privacy? That the government can spy on us openly, and that corporations can take the data, the information that we give it, and just sell us as a product? I mean, is this really what you want to happen? Our rights to not be searched and have our things taken from us, our right to free speech, our right to privacy, those are more immediately protective rights than a gun. Why are we letting them tread on us? Why are we letting them steal from us? And all of government is complacent. Congress, multiple presidents, they've all helped get us to where we are right now. I mean, there are Democrats that I've liked, and they also did the same thing. They allowed corporations to have control over our information, and now it's being locked up into a box for an evil, vindictive, childish man to use against us. Why are we letting that happen? The government made Apple or Google, one of them, both of them, I don't know, get rid of ICE block so that citizens could talk to each other through an app to let each other know where ICE was going to be located. So they use tools, tech, and data against us, but we can't communicate with each other. We can't know what they're up to and talk to each other about it. So they get to spy on us, and we can't have any information, any collaboration of data like they're doing with databases. Does that seem fair?